Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are back together again on Valentine's Day, no less, after one day picking our props separately. Nate going an astounding 8-0. I only went 4-0, which brings us to 12-0 on the night. We're going to look to stay super hot for you guys tonight with a couple picks each here in this player props vid. Want to make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Also check out the other couple game videos we have for you on this little 5-game slate tonight. And head to thelines.com. That's where you can check out all the great written content we have for you guys and use that odds finder tool that we have. Make sure you're getting the best odds available to you on all these NBA player props and bets this season. Nate, let's jump into your first player prop. We got Porzingis here for the Wizards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm targeting the Blazers defense at every opportunity here, and they're on a back-to-back. So is the Zinger, but actually he's been elite on back-to-backs this year. 8 times, 28.5 points, 8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, with his highest usage rate, 30%, and his best efficiency, 132 offensive rating. In his last 6, he's averaging nearly 30 a game, along with 8 rebounds, about 3 assists, and that includes 32 points on 9 for 15 shooting, 12 free throw attempts against this Blazers team that still has no Nurkic. So Drew Eubanks started on him and only played 18 minutes, was a minus 11. There's just no resistance down low. Portland, they're all their defenders are either traded or injured right now. And they're also on a back-to-back here. They have the worst defensive rating in the league the last 16 games. It's up to 128 in their last 9. So there's a reason that you're getting really poor odds on just the points for Porzingis. 24.5 is like minus 125. Maybe you want to just juke that up one, say he'll get 26, or look for player performance doubles and a potential win here. But I mean, I think you can probably bundle the points, rebounds, 34.5, or go 36.5 PRA. I think there will be a few more rebounds available with Portland on a back-to-back. Their offense is usually not as good. And I mean, they just searching for answers right now, as they did manage to beat the Lakers last night, but I just don't understand the moves that the GM made at this point, and how that's supposed to make them competitive down the stretch.
It's not. You don't trade Josh Hart like that and expect to be still as good at defense for what you're getting back. Jeremy Grant being out is definitely huge for them in stopping a ton of things down low. Now I think he's going to be playing. I mean, he has to be playing bigger, especially with Nurk out. And he would have been very helpful in limiting what AD did last night, getting 20 rebounds against this team in Eubanks. I think you can probably expect the Zinger and some combination of Daniel Gafford, especially with Kuz still out, getting with the rebounds he normally gobbles up. There's going to be plenty out there, like you said, with Portland Trailblazers and playing no defense. Playing at a fast pace, playing Dame ball. So just, going bananas on offense as much as they can and hoping that they outscore the other team. And I think Zinger's prime for the ability to take advantage of them right now. So I'm with that. I'm going to move on to a guy who I think his prop is going to get higher as this season continues to get towards the end of it, as Terrance Mann is going to be featured a lot more in this Clippers offense. 9.5 points still, so get it while you can. Minus 115 on FanDuel. I think it's actually a little bit better, someplace like minus 110, but it's basically around there. You can also take the 13.5 points and rebounds combined for Mann tonight against a Golden State Warriors team that I think you can expect to continue to hemorrhage points the way they did to those Wizards last night. They did score 136, but gave up the 125. Probably a bit more of that tonight. Terrance Mann, in his last 5 alone, 12.5 points per game, 5 boards, and that's in 28 minutes. He's been inserted to the lineup actually 3 games ago after, we've probably expected guys like R. Jackson, Jay Wall, or at least the Clippers did, expected them to be traded, started putting Mann into the starting lineup right before they got traded. And so, that was about 3 or 4 games ago. Now that they're just not even around in terms of Jackson and John Wall to take any of his time and usage. In the 6 games without Reggie Jackson this season, Terrance Mann's gotten 32 minutes a game, 11 points and 5 boards, as well as 3 assists in that time frame. So I do think there's the possibility for maybe even a blowout tonight against this Warriors team where you can expect Mann to continue continue to be in there as the young guy who I think they want to continue to get run, even if this game turns into a blowout. And the Dubs, allowing 36 points per game, good for their last 7 to opposing point guards on the season. They're still like bottom 3 in terms of allowing the most points to them, and a bunch of assists. And they're on no rest, where they are averaging an 118.6 defensive rating in those games on no rest this season, giving up a bet more than 118 points per game as well in that time frame. So I think it's a good opportunity for the Clips to score a lot. I think Terrance Mann's going to be a big part of that, even if there's sort of like some weird downtime where maybe Kawhi and Paul George aren't needed on the floor. I think you still get Terrance Mann out there and give him that run.
Yeah, it's a good call because Kawhi's props only have 22 points. So, I mean, books are kind of agreeing with you that this is going to be the other guys stepping up. And I like that you're just calling him the point guard, because the Clippers apparently have no point guard now, and they're just going to play positionless, freewheeling basketball, which is, exactly the type of style that you play against the Warriors, that you would expect Terrance Mann to get a lot of minutes tonight with the Warriors playing their small ball, freewheeling guys. You never know who's going to be out for them on a back-to-back. So, yeah, just follow the minutes there, and the points and rebounds will definitely come for Mann. One of the best rebounding guards out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Our under here is Scottie Barnes, 16.5 points. Again, not the best odds. -125 is the best I found it. You could try to bundle the points, rebounds, and assists, but I'm kind of scared of the peripherals, just because he gets so many minutes right now. With OG out, he's playing at least 37 minutes per game on the season. His last 38 minutes per game, 12.5 rebounds, assists, but only 15 points. And the key thing here is in the last 3, Pascal Siakam's really started cooking. 33 points per game, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. I don't hate taking his PRA here if you're a little scared of the under here, because I think Barnes will be close. But Barnes' usage rate is down to just 15.8%, and that's with OG out, scoring 14 points per game. He actually scores fewer when Precious Achiuwa sits, for what that's worth. Precious is questionable as well. Gary Trent is questionable, but more it's just about the matchup against Orlando, which is just a tough front court team that doesn't really give up much to, big bodied guys. They're not going to get bullied down there. And in 3 against Orlando this season, Barnes averaging just 11 points per game, only 2 assists in 35 minutes as well. He had a good game the first time out, but the last 2 have been rough. He's a cumulative -40. Only had 11 points in 41 minutes the last time, and a 6.62 line the previous one. So that's why you're getting tough odds on the under here, because he struggled so badly. But I just don't think he's going to be looking to score that often. He is kind of that point forward for them. So less involved as a scorer, especially when Siakam's cooking.
Yeah, man. Let me take this moment to give you your flowers on last night. One of the more impressive props you picked was over on Vucevic rebounds, but under on his points. So I feel like that was beautiful. And I feel like we're talking about a similar scenario here with Scottie Barnes here, where maybe he can get the peripherals a bit more in a game that might be a little bit choppier, maybe a few boards available on some missed shots, but that the points, just not feeling good about him getting those. And I think I would stick with you, even though there are the really crappy odds on it. It does feel like a really safe bet. So I'm going to finish things off with, as I mentioned, CP3 going over for the old floor captain, if you will, against this Kings team. And that's really what a lot of this is about. And I think, like we said, a shot in the arm for him. I'm going points and assists. When Booker's in there, he gets a few more assists, a few less points, which you would expect. So I kind of just want to combine them both here, as I think that the assists will be coming in droves. The last 5 that he's played with Book, 15.5 points a game, plus the 11.5 assists in 35 minutes. And like I said, I think he's going to be out there trying to make sure they get a W tonight, as they're trying to really make a run down the stretch here now that they know they're close to, if not title favorites. This is a Sacramento defense that is pretty much non-existent in their last 5, especially 125 defensive rating in that time, allowing the 52% from deep, 52% from the field, which is good for third worst, and 43% from deep, which is good for last. That's why I also like the assists for CP3, diming to some of those 3-point shooters now. Allowing the second most points per game to point guards, allowing the 10th most assists per game to point guards are the Sacramento defense, and they're allowing the 6th most assists overall in their last roughly 5 games, as I mentioned. So it's just a great opportunity for a Kings team that hemorrhages points and assists to point guards, and in general for CP3 to take advantage of that tonight with Book out there as well.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to use the odds finder tool and use your logic to get our viewers some better juice here. Because if you said assists like 10 times, 10 assists is plus 108 at FanDuel. A double
It
double
is.
is plus 130 or
It
plus
is.
135 at DraftKings. So if you think he's getting 10 dimes and he's probably going to score 10 points, I'm just going to erase the points scored. In my mind, CP3 can easily go under 15 points. And then
True.
why not just go with him orchestrating everything and getting books set up to maybe start cooking after he's had a few days off here.
Thank you, Nate. That is the play here. You're 100% right. And I'm glad that we have that odds finder tool to be able to tell us that, because I am talking about a ton of assists. And I don't know why I'm trying to throw the points in there so much, except for that, like I said, Sacramento just gives them up in droves. But why make yourself crazy needing CP3 to score when you can expect him to dime and still get plus odds on that? It's a very good
But to
call.
be fair, it should be a high scoring fourth quarter, and he is clutch, and Book might not be ready to play the whole fourth quarter. So I think you got some points there.
Nah, you're just trying to save my feelings. You're right. We should get the plus money on this one for sure. And that's all the time we have for you in this one. So make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along. Hope we have another undefeated night for you guys tonight, like we did to kick off the week last night. And until we see you next, happy betting.